Hey, what's you guys? It's Groudix here today with a brand new video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. The brand new episode of the Book of Boba Fett just came out, episode 6. I'm lost for words, you guys. I started crying, man. This episode was fantastic. It's 20 out of 10. The best Book of Boba Fett episode I've ever seen thus far. It blew my mind. Anyways, guys, we're just going to get straight into the breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so the episode opens up to the Pikes doing a spice, deal, meetup thing when we see someone walk into frame, and it turns out being Cobb Vanth. If you remember who Cobb Vanth was, he was in the second season of The Mandalorian. He ends up talking to them and telling them he suggests they should leave. They end up trying to shoot him, and he kills all three of them except for one of them, and tells him that he should get out of town and tell the rest of his Pike friends to not return. Threatens the last one to leave. He hops in his speeder and he takes off, leaving a crate of which Cobb opens up and is spice, which looks like little orange sand, but it's like Star Wars version of drugs. Then the scene cuts to, we see the Mandalorian's brand new ship again. Which is really cool. I was hoping we'd get to see the Mandalorian, and we did. We see him in his cockpit, and he's flying to this tropical forest planet, and lands, and we see a beacon from R2-D2. And you know what this means. I think you all know what this means. He asks R2, where's Grogu? Lead him to Grogu. Follows R2 around, and R2 leads him through the trees and the forest area and leads him to this little shack area with a bunch of droids carrying bricks, building some sort of building structure. And these droids, there's a lot of them. There's probably at least 30 or 40 of them just carrying a bunch of rocks and building this structure. You can see them placing each individual rock. It was pretty cool. All of a sudden they build him a little bench for him to sit on to wait. Then the scene changes to a bunch of trees and a bunch of beautiful landscapes, and we can see in the distance what's going on, and we see none other than Grogu. And then, guys, we see Luke. We see freaking Luke, guys. I don't know if you could tell by my voice, but that just, it made me so happy to see Luke again. And the visual effects for this are just so amazing. He looks so real, and he looks like Mark Hamill back in the original trilogy. And he's training Grogu and meditating, and Grogu ends up levitating a little frog and tries to eat it, and Luke tells him to stop, and then all of a sudden Luke levitates all the frogs around them, and Grogu gets distracted, is all just in awe and everything. It's such a cool scene. And then the scene cuts to Grogu walking with Luke, and they're walking through the trees and everything, and Luke is asking him if he remembers anything from before his memory was wiped, and asks if he knows anyone about his kind, and he starts talking about Master Yoda and how Grogu reminds him of Master Yoda. And Luke offers to refresh his memories, and Luke puts his hand on Grogu's head, and Grogu instantly remembers Order 66. We see Grogu in some sort of basket watching a bunch of Jedi get slaughtered by clones, and Grogu looks terrified as each and every Jedi in front of him is just falling to blaster fire. And we see old 501st clones in his visions, and oh my gosh, guys, it was such an amazing scene. Eventually Grogu snaps out of it, is sitting with Luke and looking into the mountains, and then the scene changes to the Mandalorian laying down, and we see none other than Ahsoka. Guys, we're getting so many people right now. We got R2-D2, we got Grogu, we got Luke, and now we got Ahsoka. This is just, it's amazing. And then we also got Cobb Vanth, but he's alright. But then the Mandalorian talks to Ahsoka and asks what this is, and she explains that it's a school, a Jedi training school for Luke, to be able to train Grogu as his first student. Ahsoka talks to him and leads him to Grogu, and she tells him that he shouldn't have gotten attached and that it would be hard, and that if she wants him to become a Jedi, he needs to let him be. And Mandalorian has a hard time for quite a while and sees them up at the top of the hill and gets very sad. And Ahsoka says if you have a gift for him, she'll take it up there. And so he gives her the gift he had, the chains or the armor that we all know was made for Grogu. He gives it to her, and then we see in this next scene he leaves in his ship, and we could see Grogu knows it's him, and he reaches out for him, and it just looks so sad. Then the scene changes with Luke and Grogu looking at each other, and Luke is trying to get Grogu to jump, and Grogu doesn't jump that high, and they go on talking, and then eventually Luke puts him on his back and shows him what he wants him to do. And Luke, just like how Yoda was riding Luke in the original trilogy, Grogu's riding Luke's back. It's like Yoda riding Luke's back again, and Luke's going through all these flips and dives and jumps and climbing things, and climbs to the top of the tree, and they look at the mountain view, and then we see Luke training Grogu how to balance and everything, and all of a sudden, while he's balancing, practicing his balance, Luke ignites his lightsaber and begins doing forms of fighting with his saber. And then Luke brings out a target droid, and Grogu throws him around. It's a really cute scene. And then Luke turns it on using the Force, and it starts moving around, and that shoots Grogu. And then Luke tells Grogu a very important thing. He says, always get back up. Just hearing, Luke telling Grogu to always get back up. When he said that, it made me so emotional. You can see Grogu gets back up and he keeps trying and he keeps going, just like how Luke did when he was training with Yoda. He kept trying, he kept going, and it was a lot of reflecting in this episode, and it's so amazing. Then we see Luke and Grogu training at the lake, and we see Grogu just jumping and bouncing around, doing flips, dodging blaster fire, and then we see Ahsoka come up behind Luke and watching them train, and they end up talking about Grogu and everything, and Grogu destroys the droid, and Luke's all proud, and he just tells Ahsoka it's not very much training, it's just more of him remembering. Luke says, I don't know if his heart's into it, and then Ahsoka says, just like your father. And then she ends up giving the gift to Luke that the Mandalorian gave her. She goes to leave, and Luke asks her if he's gonna see her again. She's like, possibly, So that could be a hint at the new Ahsoka show that'll eventually come out, and see where Ahsoka goes now. And then the scene cuts to the Mandalorian on his ship, and he's flying to Tatooine at Boba's palace, and he asks for Fennec Shan. The guards lead him to Fennec Shan, and they're in a battle strategy meeting, and they introduce the Mandalorian, and they have the muscle, they have the smarts, they have everything but the people. They don't have the numbers, and the Mandalorian's like, I think I can fix that. And the scene cuts to him flying to a Jawa cruiser, and he flies around it. They're all making noise and everything, and then he flies past them and lands at a nearby town, and we see some stranger come up to him and tell him he needs to park somewhere else, and the Mandalorian doesn't care, and he's there to see Cobb Vanth. He goes there, talks to him, and he offers him a drink at the bar. They're drinking, and he asks why he's there, and he tells Cobb Vanth that he needs the townspeople's help again to fight the Pikes, and he needs the townspeople's help to fight the Pikes, and Mandalorian convinces him to at least try. He says he will. Mandalorian goes and takes off and flies away, and then all of a sudden Cobb Vanth looks to his left and sees a figure walking from the distance, and I immediately knew who this was when I saw it right from the very start. And oh my god, Cobb Vanth tells everybody to get into their homes, take shelter, don't come out, and then people are like, is everything okay? And he's like, I hope so, and then we see him walk into the middle of the road, and then we see a shadowy cowboy walking closer and closer. We see someone's legs that have ammunition strapped to the bottom of them, and it is none other than Cad Bane. I started shitting bricks when I saw Cad Bane from the distance. I knew it was him in the very first glimpse of him far away, and we see his teeth, and he looks so scary and dangerous. And the deputy comes out to help the sheriff, and it's all like causing issues, and then the sheriff asks his name, and Cad Bane pretty much just says, you need to stop getting your nose so deep in everyone's business, and then the deputy pisses Cad Bane off, and he raises his eyes, and oh my god, guys, like this is awkward. It's obviously kind of weird seeing Cad Bane in live action form, and we're just not used to it yet. At least I'm not used to it yet, but I think they did a pretty damn good job for what they were given. And anyways, back to the story. He tells them to stay out of the Pike's business if they want to be alive. He tells Cobb Vanth that he should have kept Boba's armor, as he shows his pistol on his waist, and then Cobb Vanth goes to put his hand over his pistol, and the deputy is hovering his hand over his pistol on the left, and the deputy goes to open fire, and Cad Bane, faster than the both of them, shoots Cobb Vanth and then shoots his deputy several times, killing the deputy for sure. Cobb Vanth, we see that he shoots him in the shoulder, so he's still alive. Then we see Cad Bane just slowly put his weapon away and look around, and tells the town that if they wish to stay alive, they should stay out of the Pike's business. He starts walking away, and the townspeople go and help the sheriff, or Cobb Vanth. The scene cuts to the casino, and we see a few Pikes sitting down, and the Twi'leks that work there offered to go clean their helmets. They said no, and all of a sudden they randomly just get up and start leaving, and a droid goes and grabs their little money box thing and says, oh, you forgot something. And as soon as that happens, immediately just boom, a big explosion goes off, and killing everyone from what we've seen and what we know so far. Everyone is gone. The scene immediately changes to Luke and Grogu sitting across from each other. Luke holds out the gift that the Mandalorian brought for Grogu, and it's a little chest armor plate made out of Beskar, and lays it down for Grogu, and then tells him to wait and don't touch it yet, because he has something else for him to choose. And he pulls out Yoda's lightsaber. He pulls out freaking Yoda's lightsaber and ignites it in front of Grogu, and explains where it came from and whose it is and everything. And it's so cool. And he puts it away and sets it on the ground. He tells Grogu that if he chooses the armor, he will be able to leave and go back and see the Mandalorian be with him. But if he chooses the lightsaber, he's acknowledging that he wants to be trained by Luke, and he won't see the Mandalorian ever again, and he will become a great Jedi under his training. Grogu looks at the items and then looks at the camera, and it slowly zooms in, and the episode ends just like that. Wow. This episode was full of emotions. As you can see, I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. It went from one story to another. Immediately something sad, and something so cool, and something so exciting, and something so exhilarating, and just so many people. We got Cobb Vanth, we got Ahsoka, we got R2-D2, we got Luke, we got Grogu, we got Cad Bane, we got so many interesting, cool people from the Star Wars trilogy that we all know and love. And if you really love Star Wars, this episode is a very special one. For me, it especially was. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to leave a like. Please subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And tell me how you felt and what your reaction was when you first watched the episode. And what you predict or think might happen. I'm thinking Dengar might show up and help Cad Bane. I don't know, but we'll see. And anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and may the Force be with you always.